is my total McCall's pattern stash that I own. I can confidently say I have about 39 patterns, including the 3 that's up for vote. But I can confidently say I have gone through quite a few, sewn up quite a few of these patterns to date. I want to do a quick comparison before we jump into the subscriber pick for this month of November and my plans. Let's see by comparison of the 39 patterns I own, how many I have sewn to date. So I divided my patterns by the ones I've sewn, which is 14, and those I have not, which is 22. 25 if you're counting the 3 that's part of the subscriber pick. So I haven't gotten through as many as I initially thought that I did, but I've gotten through quite a few. So let's have a quick discussion about what I have made and the ones that I have not made. All right, everybody. So this video will be about getting through my McCall's pattern stash. I wanted to do a revisit of how my pattern no-buy was going, also in combination with the pattern in focus. So for those who are new to the channel, welcome, and welcome back to those who continue to tune in from week to week. I greatly appreciate it. So for those who have been following, you know, since 2023, or was it the end of 2022? I'm thinking it was the start of 2023. I began a series of pattern and focus, where every quarter I focus on a commercial pattern company that I have. And so I have the Simplicity, the McCall's, the Know Me, Butterick, Vogue, who else is over there? New Look, you know, all those from the big 4, big 5. And so I have every quarter have been putting up for vote on the community tab the pattern for that month. So obviously there's 3 months in a quarter, and so I have been putting up a pattern that from that particular focus for that particular quarter is up on the tab for vote. And so you guys vote. So we'll go over who won, or which pattern I should say was selected by the subscribers for the month of November. And again, we are in McCall's, so I have gone through McCall, all of them, at least once. And so now I am circling block going through them again. But the added emphasis for 2024, for those who do not know, I am on a pattern no buy. So I'm not buying any new garment related. This is only related to garment sewing patterns from the big 4, big 5, or from indie. And I decided, okay, when I share what the pattern pick is for this month, I'll share with you kind of my, you know, pulse on where I am and what I have sewn so far in at least McCall's, and, you know, the few that I still have. So let's jump into first the pattern that was selected. I am wearing, actually this was this was a subscriber pick when Butterick was up. This is Butterick 685 or 6885, something like that. I'll pop it up on the screen, but you can go back and watch that video if you're interested in the review. Absolutely love this. And what I did with this, I'm actually going to do with the pattern that was selected. So based on the votes, and I'll pop up a screenshot here, McCall's 8412 was selected. And this, I have the pattern size pack is 20W through 28W. I forget the size down and the size above is a different number, but they're still, so you do have a smaller size and a larger size. Now, for this, it does call for, there's a bodysuit. View A has a bodysuit, and I don't like bodysuits actually. And so my intention for this is to cut this off and make it into just a fitted top, how it is. And yeah, and then I'll just have it to wear with the duster. I actually want to make view A, view D, and view B. So I want to make a complete set. This is definitely fitting my cozy loungewear vibes that I'm looking to get into, or that I will be sewing up actually over this next several months. And so if you missed my what the plus size ladies are wearing and ready to wear, and all of that, what I planned. So you can go watch that video. I'll leave it up here in the iCards. But this definitely fits the bill. And what I plan to do is, like I said, I did it with this particular pattern as well. This butterick pattern calls for woven, all woven. But what I did was use knit, and it's an eyelet knit for the main portion of this dress. And then I just did the collar and the button band in a woven to see how it would work. It worked out beautifully. Absolutely love wearing this. And so I made because this is in a knit, I made the button placket on this non-functional. I just sewed the buttons on, overlapped the placket and sewed the buttons on. Worked out beautifully. So yeah. And because it is an eyelet, I do have to wear a tank up underneath and a slip for sure. But at any rate, this calls for, at least the bodysuit, view A calls for a two-way stretch knit. And then everything else, so the duster and the bottoms calls for a cotton or a challis or a crepe, something like that. I'm going to do this in knit. And I don't know yet, because I am doing it in knit. I really should size down, and I probably will, because this here is, as you can tell, is quite oversized, or it's loose fitting aside from the bodysuit. And I probably won't size down the bodysuit because I'm not making it into a bodysuit, but B, making it in the knit will probably give me the fit I want with the size I would normally sew in this here. So, but it calls for a two-way stretch knit, so maybe that's kind of pointless. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see. Y'all know how I do. I'll see it as I'm diving in. I don't know that this will be a sew along. I will have to see. It looks to be a relatively easy sew. You have your contrasting pieces on all three, on the bodysuit, the duster, as well as the pants. So yeah, we shall see. It looks really easy to make. So I mean, the robe, pants, and bodysuit, we shall see. But that is the one that was chosen. I do not have any knit fabric in my stash. When I look back, if you all recall, when I talked about my stash that is left, most of this is woven. So I don't know. And I think I do want a print. I was trying to really steer away from prints and do more solids so things can be interchangeable. But I'm thinking I want a print for this so I can do the contrasting as shown here in the pattern. So we shall see. I'm not sure if you'll get this at the end of the month, and you'll see the fabric that was selected and what I decided to do at the end of the month. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and subscribe, and so you don't miss that video. All right, so let's get into the McCall's pattern and just a post check on how I'm feeling about the pattern no buy, and has it served me well up into this point. I will say out of the gate, these were, I showed you the stack, I think it was, what was it, 14 that I made out of a total of 36 patterns. No, 39 patterns, which includes the 3 from the that was up for vote. I made 14. I think that's pretty good. Almost to the halfway point, right? Almost to the halfway of all that I own. And so I am not going to go over all of these, because for those who follow along, I have a complete playlist for every single Big 4 pattern company. And every time I made a pattern from that particular pattern company, for commercial patterns, I save the video there. So I will have the playlist for McCall's patterns that I have sewn, and these will go back quite a while. But anyway, I have saved them in a separate playlist, so you can just go and peruse through the playlist, maybe do a search or something if you're interested about a particular pattern. But I do want to lift up a couple of my favorites, that I made. Absolutely, hands down, McCall's 7624. 7624. This pattern, I absolutely loved how this turned out. I made this in last summer, or was it earlier this year? Or it might have been earlier this year. I don't remember. But I had won some fabric. No, it was last year. I won some fabric from Anne-Marie's workshop, and I used that fabric to make this dress. And absolutely love. I love wearing it. I always get so many compliments on it when I do wear it. So yeah, that is one of my favorites from what I've made so far, 7624. And you can find that, of course, in the McCall's playlist. My next favorite was the Kalela Ali pattern set, McCall's 7985. McCall's 7985. I absolutely love this. I made this back in, was it 20? Did I write down when I made this? I think this was back in 2022, maybe. I made in Ankara. And of course, my favorites, I'll pop up the pictures. Absolutely love how this turned out, the fit and everything. I just loved it. Love, love, love. Wore it all the time. It always got many compliments. The next one that was my favorite is, let me get to it. I know which one it is. I know which one it is. Or that I really, really, really enjoyed wearing. And it's actually McCall's 8390. 8390. I made view A. Yes, I made view A out of a stretch suede, faux suede from Joann's in a deep green color. I absolutely love that skirt. So love that skirt. Ready for it to get cooler to wear it. So love. And I actually was in Joann's recently, and I want to say I saw the fabric out again, and they had another color that like a deep rust that I like that I may get. But absolutely love. I mean, obviously I enjoyed all of these, but those were just a couple of my favorites. And I will say the pattern no buy for me has gone really well. It really has gone really well. I enjoy watching videos, YouTubers who put out, you know, the latest patterns that have been released for the big four and whatnot, because what I have been doing is and this is why I love that those videos are out there, is I have created a list in my cell phone for patterns that I want to purchase in 2025 that were released in 2024. And so I have a nice little list. I will be sharing that list with you guys in January for sure. I want to get through all of 2024 through the end of the year and see, you know, and it's a mix. There's a mix of indie and commercial in that list. But yeah, there were quite a few. I think I'm up to maybe 20 or 21 patterns. I don't know on average how that is in comparison, but there are quite a few that I want, so I do watch those videos for that. And if somebody makes something and maybe I missed the pattern at some point, you know, I'll save that pattern or whatever. But I'm pretty sure all of the ones I've saved were released this year in 2024 that, yeah, I want in 2025. But as far as the rest of the patterns I have in my stash that I have not made, which is this batch here. I mean, it's a majority of these are all summer or warm related. There are a couple that can be made in the fall. For example, which one is this? This is, I have both size packs for it. It is McCall's 8385. This is McCall's 8385. This is a good transitional piece. It could be worn in the summer or in the fall, winter down here in Texas. So ones like that are, you know, definitely transitional. But I will say for the most part, most of these patterns that I have not made as of yet, I would say lean more towards summer. or when I think I will make them. Obviously they can, a lot of these can transition into fall pieces. Like for example, this is McCall's 7945. That's for me, that's something I will focus on in the summer, spring, summer, I would say, because it's already like steaming here in spring. And then there's a couple of dressier options. I have one tote bag like this one. This here is McCall's 7926. And so haven't made this yet, definitely like it. And so yeah, it's patterns like that. And I have this handbag pattern. I keep saying I want to do this soon because I think it's so cute. This is McCall's 8271. McCall's 8271. This is a cute bag pattern that I like. But for the most part, yeah, these are, you know, patterns that, and as I'm thumbing through them, quite honestly, I think for me, these will be all year round patterns. I don't, aside maybe from that one I showed you that I think is specifically summer because the, you know, the style lines and everything of it. The rest of these, quite honestly, I can sew all year round. So I don't think, and I try to, for the most part, I can see from the pattern stash that I have patterns pretty much that are like that, that I'm not restricted. Simplicity, we're going to do simplicity. I might do simplicity next week, Wednesday. But aside from maybe simplicity, I have a lot of coat patterns in simplicity. And that I think I bought down here in Texas. Why? I don't know. But anyway, so for the most part, the patterns that I do have, I can sew up any time of the year, and I try to focus on those type of patterns. So what you won't see, except for what I just talked about in simplicity, I have a little anomaly there, but you won't see a bunch of coats. And I have Vogue that I made. You know, I've made a couple coats, but you won't see a bunch of coat patterns in my stash. Things like that, heavier, more dedicated to winter sewing type patterns, just because I'm not in that climate anymore, and so I have no desire to have those type of patterns. Like I said, I have a couple, and I've made coats, right? I have made coats and jackets, no problem with that, but I only wear them at a specific time. And the coldness we get down here when it's winter, I might be lucky if I wear those things 2 or 3 times. Unless it's unseasonably cooler. But yeah, so I don't focus on those type of pieces. But yeah, so I just wanted to share with you, obviously, what the pattern pick is for the month of November. I need to get some fabric. And also to share with you how the pattern no buy has been going. I've actually been enjoying the process, the no buy. And so yeah, I'll just be ready for 2025 for the list that I do have. Again, stay tuned for January. I'll share with you that list that I will be looking forward to purchasing. But yeah, I think I do want to go through, because I think simplicity is the anomaly for me, where I have like a ton. That is the pattern company I have the most patterns for, and there are quite a few coat patterns in there that maybe at some point I'll make them, but I was like, why did I buy these? But anyway, again, pattern no buy also teaches you that. What do you really need? What do you really want? Because it's okay to buy patterns that you want that maybe, ooh, you never know if you ever will make it, but you want it. Maybe it's a particular designer that dropped a pattern from one of the big 5 that you just want to support. That, you know, that stuff is okay. That's fine. No big deal. But I can say I have focused in on more of the needs and then some of the wants. And so yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So all right, everybody, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are any of you on a pattern no buy? If so, how is it going? Is it going well for you? I hope that it is. Do you have a list of what you're going to be buying in 2025? Let me know in the comments. Share with everybody else. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. You all have a blessed rest of your week. Stay tuned for Sunday. That is the 10-piece dress summer collection series roundup. All right, everybody. Bye.